in the long run, you end up back where you were, just with a lower price. So anyway.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Smark, and I'm bringing you the slop, the whole slop, and nothing but the slop. I don't necessarily consider this an expose video, because it's not as if Dave Meltzer hasn't gone on record and said something on the lines of, hey, me and Tony Khan, we go back and forth as far as booking ideas are concerned, right? So this is not necessarily an expose, but it's just one of those things where it's like, damn. That's the first time, like, I've actually seen Dave legitimately, like, interact with Tony Khan like this. You know, like, he has a custom ringtone for this man and his name and all of this kind of stuff. That's wild, bro. How is that not a conflict of interest according to anybody, right? Right? Like, it's one thing to actually have a bias. It's another thing to have it actively confirmed. Is that not wild to anybody to see something like that? And I know people are saying things like, oh, Dave Meltzer is he's in contact with Triple H and stuff like that as well. Well, I'm not hearing any confirmation in regards to that, right? Do I hear a Triple H? No, I hear a Tony Khan. That's what I hear as far as a ringtone is considered. Like, bruh, at some point, when you actually hear these people talk about AEW, like, look, I don't have a conflict of interest, right? I tell you straight up if I like SmackDown or Raw more than AEW, and vice versa. I've gone back and forth as far as what I consider that I like and consider that I hate more compared to the other. But never would I actually go out of my way and then tell you guys that I hate something as far as the opposition and that I like something, and I'm in contact with the people who are legitimately booking. Like, how is that not a conflict of interest to anybody? You know what I mean? I think, and once again, this is not an expose or anything like that, because Dave Meltzer has already made it a point. But it's one of those things when you say Dave Meltzer is under the table, Dave Meltzer, he's on payroll from Tony Khan, all these metaphors and stuff like that. Even rumors going around that Dave Meltzer owns a percentage of AEW. Yeah, that's a thing that I've been hearing going around too, right? It's just one of those deals where it's like, how do you take this motherfucker seriously? How do you take him seriously? How do you take any of his news? It's true. It's true. You know, you hear this and you just call him a fanboy and all this other kind of shit. It's actually true. He's legitimately going back and forth with Tony Khan. The man had his fucking name specialized, being talked out throughout his cell phone. Yeah, it could be Siri as well, but the fact that Tony Khan is even calling this man in mid-broadcast to have a conversation with him about what? How is that not a conflict of interest? You call yourself a journalist. A journalist in what? Hackery? Bro, it's just a little small video, nothing worth actually discussing necessarily. I just think that's a wild fucking clip. That's a wild clip to see someone legitimately have that much conflict of interest. And, you know, I find it funny though, right? I find it funny how many people who have actually said things like the AEW defenders, like, right, whenever you talk about WWE and the way that Dave Meltzer rates the show and stuff like that, and I don't necessarily care about Dave Meltzer's ratings necessarily as far as they have an effect on me, but I do care to a degree where people actually take it and they run with it, and these people, thanks to Dave Meltzer's influence and the way that he thinks and the way they live vicariously through him and the way they think, this is the mindset that has completely ruined professional wrestling. It is an invasive fucking bacteria infestation. Like, this is crazy, bro. How a person can just have the fucking owner's number and be in direct contact. And I know people are also going to probably bring up, oh, well, Devontae, Dave Meltzer used to talk to Vince McMahon back in the days also, but it doesn't really seem like that it had an effect on Vince, going off of how Meltzer thinks wrestling should be ran. It seems more like Dave Meltzer was more or less being used by Vince McMahon for more or less just getting the, I don't know, like another take or something like that, right? Like, for Dave Meltzer to confirm that he's going back and forth with Tony Khan in regards to creative decisions and booking decisions and what should be and what should not be, and for him to legitimately confirm this with a phone call coming from Tony Khan directly. This man didn't call Tony Khan. Tony Khan called him. And in what way? In what way do you ever... Okay, I'll put it to you this way, right? If you see another AEW pay-per-view show, if you see another AEW match, how do you take Dave Meltzer seriously in regards to whether or not he's actually telling you the truth or telling you lies, if you know this information to be legitimate now? How do you know legitimately he does not have a stake in AEW? Clearly the man is friends with Tony Khan. So it's like, it's almost like a propaganda thing, bro. So you mean to tell me the star ratings and all this shit that we see throughout AEW, the way that the superstars are being looked upon, it's not even necessarily one of those things that they haven't been speculated on. Like I said, Dave Meltzer has already confirmed it, but it's just one of those things to actively see it in real time and have confirmation that Dave Meltzer is not even scouting out Tony Khan. Tony Khan is scouting out Dave Meltzer, bro. And I get it. He grew up on the forums, right? He was subscribed to the One. He is absolutely a follower of Dave Meltzer. Things that we absolutely speculated on and kind of knew to be true. It's just crazy to have confirmation on it. That's my problem. So it's true. And it's like, brother, this company is so it's in such it's in such trouble. It's so fucked. So Dave Meltzer essentially, I mean, this is like a Theodore Roosevelt situation all over again, right? Or a FDR situation or whatever, right? Like this is a FDR and an Eleanor Roosevelt situation where she's the one that's actually the fucking president, right? This is like a Joe Biden situation where it's like you have to ask yourselves who was legitimately running the country, bro? The person elected or the person's elected affiliates? Like, Tony, run your fucking company, bro. Run your company. You mean to fucking tell me that for the most part, all in all, Dave Meltzer is the brains behind AEW the majority of the fucking time? That's what it seems to me. That's what it seems to me. It seems like Dave Meltzer is Tony may be the talking head, but this is the motherfucker actually giving him advice. Confirmed. There's no more memes about him being in the pocket of Tony Khan. There's no more having to joke around or make analogies. It's confirmed. It is outright fucking confirmed. It's like, for anybody out there that actually said to themselves, oh wow, maybe I can give AEW a chance because maybe, just maybe, there's some way that they can flip this or turn this around, or, you know, maybe there's a shot that they'll probably understand and get with the program and they'll make a complete 180 and they'll actively compete with WWE with actual stars and legitimate captivating storylines, not focusing strictly on the wrestling. The wrestling in itself will be the payoff on some of the bigger shows while the actual weekly shows tell the stories. For anyone who was thinking that there was going to be a complete 180 to that type of ideology, all that shit was flushed directly down the toilet seeing a video like this. There's nowhere to go up from here, boys. That's it. That's it. The game is over. The game is done, man. That's it. Casual fans, pack your bags and just dip, bro. Not only is Tony Khan completely, phasing you out and not listening to anything he's saying, anything you're saying, he's doubling down. Not only is he doubling down, this man is in active conversation with Dave. He's not even just active. This man is calling him. This man is calling him. The game is over, boys. That's it. That's it. Now at this point, I guess just to watch the show would just be nothing more than just hate watching, right? Because, I mean, at least with WWE, you have to say to yourself, like, well, they're going to do a story. Maybe not now, but they're going to do a story eventually where something's gonna pay off. It sucks right now, but it's gonna pay off, and inevitably we're gonna be happy that some story that they did is gonna pay off. Whereas with this right here, there's what? Another 5-star match? Another 6-star match? Another 7-star match? Maybe he might even create an 8-star tier exclusively for AEW. And for people who are like, well, Dave Meltzer calls out Tony Khan sometimes, Devontae. Oh, really? Does he? Huh? Does he really call out Tony Khan? Doesn't really feel like he's legitimately calling out Tony Khan. Kind of feels like whenever he calls out Tony Khan, it's because his hands are against the wall. And what makes you believe that now I won't probably come to the conclusion that he hasn't already talked to Tony Khan? He's already like Ludwig, his Hassan Piker, right? Like, what makes you believe that I don't think now that everything in regards to the criticism even levied against the Tony Khan, and this extends to a Brian Alvarez to a certain degree also, wasn't already thought out and talked to Tony Khan about before saying, hey, I'm going to go out public with this information. Again, it's just Ludwigging his fucking Hassan Piker. Just, I had to talk about this. I seen that video and it's like, it's one of those things where it's an open secret. It's an open, you can't take his journalism like serious ever again. Anything bad coming from, I mean, not as if we were taking his journalism seriously to begin with in like the past decade or so, but now going forward, you can't take it seriously. How? In what way? Integrity is completely fucking shot. Anything said positively about AEW, you have to ask yourself, does Dave Meltzer sincerely fucking mean it? Or is he just saying it because Tony Khan called him up on his phone? Tony Khan, and he said, hey Dave, do me a fucking favor and make me look good in front of the marks in the IWC. The same environment that I was born from, cultivated, and came from. Make me look good in front of those people, while the casual viewing audience who wants to see us actually grow and potentially go head up with WWE sits there and mull. Like, and just and one more other thing also, if for nothing else, how fucking embarrassing, how fucking second rate should Tony Khan look right now, or at least have some self-awareness as to how he looks right now, where you are a billionaire, dude. At least with Vince fucking talking to Dave Meltzer or whatever, like, at least he was a small-time promoter trying to come up, right? You're a billionaire, bro. You already have the road paid for you from the mistakes and from the rewards of the Monday Night Wars or WWE or any of the past promotions. You know what you have to do. You know what you need to do. To know that you have to take advice from Dave Meltzer in order to be straight with your wrestling company makes you wonder why a Cody Rhodes and a CM Punk left after all, right? Because of shit like this. Imagine the Undertaker being in a meeting with Tony Khan and Dave Meltzer calls his phone. Imagine The Rock or Stone Cold or John Cena or Roman Reigns having a meeting with Tony Khan about their story and what they're gonna do in the company, and Dave fucking Meltzer calls him. Hey, I got some ideas of what you can do with fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin. I got some ideas of what you can do with Hulk Hogan. I got some ideas of what you can do with Roman Reigns and John Cena. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? It's not even... I'm not even mad. Quite frankly, I'm not even surprised. I guess disappointed would probably be the first word that comes to mind. Because it just makes you legitimately look at all this stuff and it's like, damn, what is really the point? Wrestling is actually dead right now. Someone made a comment a couple of days ago in the community post and I couldn't have said it better. You get the corporate slop WWE and you have whatever the fuck this is in AEW. And the only way for WWE to not be the corporate slop is if it knows that it has someone actually fucking chasing them. This is what's chasing WWE. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I had to talk about this. What an embarrassing and disappointing fucking clip, bro. And again, if you take Dave Meltzer seriously going forward, you have no one to blame but yourself. You have no one to blame but yourself. Anything related to WWE, anything related to AEW, you can never actually look at it and say to yourself that it's coming from an objective source. It was already bad enough that Dave Meltzer stated that he's in contact with Tony Khan. Now it's actually fucking confirmed. And people are saying, oh, how did you not know this to be the case? It's not that we didn't know it to be the case. It's that now we can actually legitimately fucking confirm it. That's the problem. The head of a $1 billion wrestling company is taking advice from a fucking mark. For anybody who cares about professional wrestling in its future, there it is. The billionaire taking advice from the fucking mark. And I thought I was the mark. Yeah, that shows me, right? Deuces, P, Ice.